This is Robert Ian with ConquerChange.com, welcoming you to a sneak preview of my weekly GoldSeek radio commentary. This commentary will be heard along with the latest gold news and analysis from around the world on Friday evening, April 2nd. GoldSeek Radio is hosted by Chris Waltzek. Listen anytime at goldseek.com. Prepare now for a summary of the most explosive story to ever hit the world of precious metals. Hey Chris, this is Robert Ian with concise.com. The most explosive story of this past week was the public hearing held by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC. The discussion focused on large concentrated short positions in the marketplace held by major bullion banks, and whether these positions are indicative of market manipulation, and if so, should the CFTC impose position limits to curb such manipulation. At the heart of these hearings were presentations made by Bill Murphy and Adrian Douglas of GATA, the Gold Antitrust Action Committee. For 11 years, GATA has documented, using evidence on the public record, how gold and silver prices have been artificially suppressed through excessive short positions by major bullion banks. This has resulted in gold and silver being kept artificially low, and the dollar, along with other world currencies, artificially high. As part of their testimony, GATA introduced conversations and emails provided by a whistleblower in London named Andrew Maguire. Mr. Maguire is a precious metals trader who contacted the CFTC in February of this year and explained in advance how colleagues of his were going to manipulate the price of gold and silver to the downside. The takedown of the gold and silver price occurred exactly as he predicted. Despite this foreknowledge, the CFTC did not invite Mr. Maguire to appear at their public hearing. Frustrated by the lack of response, Mr. Maguire contacted Adrian Douglas of GATA and provided copies of his correspondence with CFTC regulators regarding market manipulation. But it doesn't stop there. Later in the hearings, it was disclosed through questions and information presented by Adrian Douglas that the London Bullion Market Association, the LBMA, trades on a net basis each year $5.4 trillion. That's about half the size of the U.S. economy. And on a gross basis, the LBMA is about 1.5 times the size of the U.S. economy. This makes gold the biggest commodity market in the world. How can it be so large when gold is apparently such a tiny market? One word: leverage. Adrian explained how the LBMA is, in effect, the equivalent of a fractional reserve Ponzi scheme that is leveraged at 100 to 1. In other words, for every 100 ounces of paper gold that is sold, there is only 1 ounce of real gold to support it. This means there are 100 claims on every ounce of real gold that exists. These numbers were validated by Jeffrey Christian, a gold expert at the CBM Group, whose comments verified that the London Bullion Market Association is leveraged 100 to 1. Ironically, he was not concerned with a default because numerous mechanisms exist for cash settlement. According to Adrian, a cash settlement is the very definition of a default. The greatest market manipulation of all time is about to unwind before our very eyes. It is unsustainable. Leverage of 100 to 1 will put the future price of gold at levels even the most enthusiastic gold bulls cannot imagine. Chris Powell, the Secretary-Treasurer of GATA, says that when you understand the implications of the gold price suppression scheme, you understand the secret of the financial universe. Perhaps that's a secret someone didn't want too many people to know about just yet. In 5.5 hours of CFTC testimony, the Internet video feed miraculously went out 1 minute before Bill Murphy's testimony and came back shortly thereafter. Most people use Windows Media Player. That feed went out, including mine. I switched to the alternate feed using Real Player and captured both sections of Bill Murphy's testimony. You can watch them on my website at concise.com. This is going to be an explosive year for the price of gold and gold-related assets. When gold explodes to the upside, many will try to blame gold for the ensuing financial crisis. However, you cannot reverse the law of cause and effect. Gold's function as a financial thermometer will simply be making up for lost time from years of suppression. The true culprits are the very individuals and organizations who have managed the price of gold since the mid-1990s to create a false sense of economic security, which has led to the moral hazard we are facing today. The hall is rented. The orchestra is engaged. Are you ready to dance? Until next time, this is Robert Ian with conquerchange.com. Thanks, Chris. This commentary will be heard along with the complete GoldSeek radio broadcast on Friday evening, April 2nd. Listen anytime at goldseek.com.